that, yeah, I think it's like they're so used to just this like up and down, even in the contemporary world of like up and down and finding the contraction and then the leg. And it's like, but that's still in this box for them, that then stepping outside of it, where it's like, and find the control and then, you know, like all these little things. So I don't know, I guess I'm still struggling to express, but I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Natsuko, did you have something to say?
Yes, I was one of the bun-headed girls. So I just wanted to, like, I think sometimes freedom is scary for ballet dancers. We love structures. We shouldn't generalize, but in my case, whenever like I had to take contemporary, I was so scared. Always like they were asking something new that I never thought of, and then I just freeze right there. And then now I understand, you know, having more movement patterns is like exciting, but they don't even have that thought sometimes. Freedom is scary. So you kind of have to like go all the way down to like educate them. It is okay. And then like have them failed, but it's not like failed. Like this is exciting. Like this is like movement lab, and this is exciting. It's okay. You kind of have to like encourage them to explore new movements. That's my thoughts on that.
Or I was gonna say, two things I've done before, or I did in college, was number one, just cover the entire mirror. So do the entire class, like, so put a huge sheet over the mirror so that they can't see themselves. And then the other thing done before is do smaller groups of a class, or break the class into two, and then do blindfolds. So like you have one or two people in the center and they're blindfolded, and then they have a partner that's kind of supposed to help them stay in the boundaries of the space so that they don't get injured. But basically when you do that and then you go back and look at the videotape of yourself moving, you're completely surprised with the moves that you come up with, because the whole thing is based on how it feels, not what it looks like. Obviously, you might have to work up to that. Like that's kind of, you know, mentally they may not be ready for that concept. But when you see yourself move like that versus what you normally move like, it's completely different. Then you're like, oh, I can move like that because I did, you know. So different things like that, maybe to work up towards, or on a special day or something, could maybe get them out of their box, you know.
Yeah, I think the great thing is that they came to that realization, you know, and they were willing to admit that like, oh, we don't move like this. And perhaps in some ways they're like, we don't like to move like this, you know, but also it's not that they necessarily don't like it. I think it's just once again, we're talking about this whole like idea of like introducing different types of movement to them. They felt something. And in our places as educators, how do we take that and help them find confidence in that? So I do agree with Kelly that it is a long-term thing, but I mean, like for them to be able to ask that question, I think is like, and to even admit that to you is a testament to one, how they are willing to at least ask those questions, one, but two, also that you are providing an environment for them to be willing to express that, right? So no, I think that's wonderful. But I do agree, it's one of those like long-term situations where I think if we're talking right in our sort of like more classical ballet situations, where we're more likely to encounter dancers who are like, well, can you just tell me what to do, right? So, and, you know, and like, as Natsuko said, like freedom is such this like wild concept. And they're like, what do I do? You know, what do you mean I can do whatever I want? Right. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm like going off on a tangent again, but it's movement, but it is also part of like their growth and their personality as like a human too.